They just showed your photo to a seer, and the reaction left everyone. Listen carefully, because what I am about to tell you is not ordinary. When your photo was placed before the eyes of the seer, the entire room shifted. His hands began to tremble, his lips whispered words that no one around him could fully understand, and the silence that followed was heavy with mystery. They expected him to smile, to speak casually, but instead his eyes widened as if he had just seen something written across the heavens itself. Your image carried a glow that cannot be explained by light or shadow. It was a presence, a calling, a sign. The seer declared that whoever holds this face carries a destiny too powerful to be hidden. The reaction left everyone around him speechless. They knew they had just witnessed a revelation, not a prediction. And here you are, listening now. This is not coincidence. You are meant to hear this message. Do not scroll, do not skip, because your story is unfolding in this very moment. Stay until the end, because every line spoken here is a piece of the puzzle that was revealed about you. The seer said your journey is not random, it is divinely arranged. He saw doors opening that others tried to keep locked. He saw blessings flowing toward you that no hand can block. Your name was shining brighter than the room itself, and it was clear, your time is coming. This is why you were guided to this video. Heaven is placing confirmation in front of you. Do not doubt it. Do not ignore it. What you thought was delayed is about to accelerate. What you thought was lost is about to return multiplied. Stay connected, my beloved soul, because this message carries the power to shift your spirit from waiting into receiving. And as you stay with me until the very end, remember this: the light you carry is greater than the shadow that tried to cover you. If this message touched you, share it so others can feel the same hope. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss what heaven is releasing for you. Your journey is just beginning, and you will want to hear every word that follows the moment the seer touched your photo. He whispered one word that shook even the strongest hearts in the room. He said, "Chosen." Those around him leaned closer, waiting to understand, but he could not stop the tears forming in his eyes. He explained that the energy on your face carried both the battles you've survived and the victories that have been promised. Everyone was stunned, because rarely does a seer react this way. He said your photo carried the sound of prayers answered before they were spoken. He said there was a glow that revealed protection, like unseen hands have been carrying you when you thought you were walking alone. And then he said something that silenced the room. This one is about to step into the season where destiny cannot be delayed any longer. Think about that. For years you have felt overlooked, questioned whether your path was forgotten, but the heavens are saying otherwise. Every tear you cried was counted. Every disappointment was noted, and now the shift has come. The photo did not just show your face, it revealed your future. My friend, this is why you must not scroll. Stay with me until the very end, because each second you remain is aligning your spirit with what was spoken over you. The blessing is no longer hidden, it is approaching. The seer's reaction was not ordinary, it was confirmation that your breakthrough has already started. Your name is echoing in places you cannot yet see. People are speaking about you in rooms you've never entered. Opportunities are preparing themselves for your arrival. The only thing you must do now is believe it, receive it, and keep walking. If you are ready for this, type yes in the comments right now. Share this with someone you love, because their time is coming too. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next message will unlock even more of what is waiting for you. When the seer finally found his voice, he said something that sent chills through every person who was listening. He said, "This photo is not just an image, it is a prophecy." He explained that the light surrounding you in that photo was not from the camera, nor from the sun, but from a divine seal placed over your life. Everyone leaned forward, unable to believe what they were hearing, but deep down, they felt it too. The seer revealed that when your picture entered the room, the atmosphere shifted. It was as if time itself paused, as if heaven wanted every eye present to witness the truth, that your journey has been marked by unseen battles, but also by an unshakable destiny. He said you carry the kind of energy that draws miracles closer and forces closed doors to open. And then he looked up and declared, "This one will surprise the world." His words left the entire gathering speechless. People exchanged glances, wondering how someone like you could carry such weight. But they knew instantly that he wasn't speaking from opinion, he was speaking from revelation. My friend, you are not here by accident. You were guided to hear this because heaven needs you to understand. The struggles you faced were only proof of how powerful your future is. Every obstacle, every delay, was a sign that something extraordinary is tied to your name. And now the season has shifted. Do not move away from this moment. Stay with me, because the more you hear, the more your spirit aligns with the destiny that is unfolding. What the seer saw in your photo is already alive within you: greatness, abundance, and restoration. If you believe this is speaking directly to you, type "I receive" in the comments right now. Share this so others can hear their confirmation, and make sure you subscribe, because the next part will reveal the deepest detail the seer spoke about your future. The seer's hands were still shaking when he leaned closer to your photo. His eyes were fixed as though he wasn't just looking at a picture, but peering through it into the life written beyond. And then, in a voice heavy with awe, he said, "There is a crown on this one's head." The room froze. People looked at each other in silence, wondering what kind of crown he was talking about. Was it symbolic? Was it spiritual? But the seer continued, "This is not the crown of man, it is the crown of heaven." He explained that your image revealed authority. He said wherever you go, you will not walk as an ordinary person, but as one who carries unseen power. He said this crown is why some people misunderstood you, why some turned against you, why some tried to bring you down. They could not explain what they felt when you walked into the room, but the truth is, they were reacting to the weight of your destiny. And then, with his voice trembling, the seer said, "This one has been preserved for a time such as this." No matter what battles they faced, no matter what storms came, their destiny could not be stolen. The crown is proof. They were chosen from the beginning. My friend, this message is not random. You are hearing it because it belongs to you. That crown is not something you earn, it is something already placed on your life. The seer's words confirmed what heaven has always known, that your path is about to rise higher than even you imagined. Do not scroll away now. Every second you remain here is strengthening your spirit to receive what is yours. What the seer saw is waiting to manifest, and this is your sign that it begins now. If you feel this message belongs to you, type crown in the comments. Share this with someone who needs to be reminded of their worth, and subscribe right now so you don't miss the next part, because in the next revelation, the seer speaks the detail that left everyone in tears. The seer held your photo against his chest as though it carried a heartbeat of its own. His eyes closed, and for a long silence no one dared to interrupt. Then suddenly, he whispered words that made even the strongest voices in the room fall quiet. This one is carrying an inheritance of light. People leaned closer, confused but curious. And he explained, I see generations woven into this face. I see battles that were fought long before they were born. And I see the reward, waiting to be delivered through them. They are the bridge between what was lost and what is about to be restored. The atmosphere grew heavy. Some felt chills run down their arms, others felt tears they could not explain. The seer said your photo revealed something greater than you ever imagined, that you are not only carrying your own destiny, but carrying the unfulfilled prayers of your ancestors, the dreams they could not finish, the blessings they could not hold. Heaven chose you to bring it all forward. He said, no wonder the weight has been so heavy, no wonder the battles felt endless, because this one is carrying more than themselves. But watch closely, because the time of carrying is turning into the time of receiving. My friend, this is why you are here. The seer's revelation was not meant to stay hidden in that room, it was meant to reach you now. You have questioned why life has felt so intense, why delays have tested your patience, why your heart has often grown weary. But it is because you are chosen to unlock what others could not. This is your moment. The seer said the season of waiting has expired, the season of fulfillment is here. The inheritance that was denied in the past is being released to you in the present. Stay here, do not move away, because the next part of this revelation carries the detail that left every listener in tears. It is the promise that your story is about to shift in ways even you will not believe at first. If you feel this is speaking directly into your spirit, type I claim IT in the comments. Share this message so others can find hope in their journey, and subscribe right now, because the next part will uncover the detail that shook the entire room when it was spoken. The seer's voice trembled as he placed your photo back on the table. His eyes were wet with tears, not because of sorrow, but because of the weight of what he had seen. The silence in the room was overwhelming, even the sound of breathing felt too loud. And then, with a voice that carried both reverence and urgency, he said, "This one is not ordinary. This one was marked by heaven before they even entered this world." He explained that when he gazed into your image, he saw not just a face, but a timeline stretching from the past into the future. He saw moments when you should have been broken but you stood firm, when you should have been forgotten but your name rose again, when you should have lost everything but somehow gained strength you didn't know you had. He said your photo carried proof of divine preservation, that invisible hands have been guarding you all along, preparing you for a moment that has now arrived. And then the seer revealed something that made everyone gasp. He said, "There is someone connected to them in the heavens, someone who has gone before them, whose prayers are still alive, whose love is still working in silence. That presence has never left their side." The room filled with murmurs, some began to cry, because they knew this was not something any human could guess. This was revelation. The seer said he could hear a voice whispering your name from the other side, declaring blessings, declaring protection, declaring that nothing formed against you would stand. The seer's hands shook harder as he continued, "This is why no trap has ever fully succeeded. This is why no betrayal has been able to finish its work. Because heaven has too much invested in this one. Because a voice in eternity is still speaking on their behalf." My beloved friend, do you feel the power of these words? You are hearing them now because they belong to you. The seer's reaction was not about a stranger, it was about you. He saw your future shining so brightly that the shadows could not remain. He saw your name being spoken in places beyond your reach. He saw the heavens aligning everything in your favor. And then, with a voice that broke the hearts of everyone listening, he declared, "This one is about to walk into a miracle that no one around them expects. The tables will turn, the doors will open, the tears will dry, and the crown will finally be seen for what it is. This is why you cannot scroll away now. You were guided here, pulled into this very moment, because your spirit needed to hear the confirmation that you are not forgotten, not overlooked, not abandoned. You are chosen. The light in you is greater than every battle you have fought, and the season of fulfillment has already begun. If this message speaks to you, type Amen in the comments right now. Share this with someone you love so they too can feel hope awaken in their soul. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next part will reveal the most shocking thing the seer saw, a detail so powerful that everyone present could not hold back their tears. The seer's entire face changed when he spoke the next words. They were not whispered, but released with the weight of eternity. He said, "I see their name written in lights above the highest throne." Everyone gasped. Some staggered. Some touched their chests as though their hearts were trying to understand what their ears had just heard. He leaned toward your picture once more, tears rolling down his face, and said, "What I saw is not for the weak of faith. I saw your future shimmering with glory, so bright, many will mistake the radiance for stardust. But it is not dust. It is destiny." Then came the detail that made the strongest men in the room weep. The seer described a moment, a single moment, in the not-too-distant future, when long-closed doors ignite at your knock, when false friends bow before your character, when resources you had only prayed for arrive all at once, flooding your life in ways too abundant to explain. He said, "At that moment, your doubts will dissolve. Every scar you carry will become a map of your survival. Every tear you shed will water the ground where your breakthrough blooms. And every no you heard will become the echo behind your victory." He paused. The kind of pause that stretches time. And as that silence trembled, he added, "You will stand, not in the shadows of what others expected of you, but in the brilliance of what heaven always planned. They will say it was an accident. They will call it luck. But we who were here, who saw the reaction, will know exactly whose promise this was." His voice shook as he spoke the last words, "Receive it now. Not tomorrow, not later, but now. What was destined in whispers over your life is speaking out in thunder. What was hidden in visions is stepping into your hands." If this hit you deep, type "my time" in the comments. Share this message, so that someone out there who feels unseen gets to hear what heaven is shouting. And subscribe, because I promise the next part will shine light on the most intimate revelation the seer had, something that changed his entire heart when he saw it about you. The seer could no longer sit still. He rose from his seat, holding your photo with both hands as if it were fire he dared not drop. His eyes searched the ceiling, his lips moved with words only heaven could hear, and then his voice broke through the silence. This one carries the fragrance of destiny. Wherever they step, the ground will never be the same. Everyone in the room leaned forward, unable to move, because the weight of his words was too heavy. He said, I see rivers parting when they walk. I see chains breaking without effort. I see people healed simply because they stood near them. This is not human influence. This is divine covering. And then came the most personal revelation of all. The seer pressed your photo against his heart and whispered, there is a secret written on this face. This one has been loved from the beginning. Even when they doubted their own worth, heaven never did. Even when others rejected them, the heavens still wrote their name in gold. Even when they cried alone at night, thinking no one saw, their tears were being gathered as jewels in the courts of heaven. The room shook with emotion. Some covered their faces, others wiped their tears, because these words pierced deeper than prophecy, they were truth. The seer said, this one is chosen not because they are perfect, but because they endured. Their scars are proof, their survival is testimony, and their heart is the throne where heaven chose to sit. He paused again, his body trembling, and said, the world will look at them and see only a person. But I see nations hidden in their spirit. I see legacies waiting to be born. I see promises stretching beyond their lifetime. They will not walk in smallness. Heaven has already written greatness over them. My friend, you need to hear this clearly. You were not led here by chance. The seer's revelation has followed you into this very moment. You are listening because heaven is confirming what you secretly hoped, that your story is not ending in struggle, but beginning in glory. What was whispered in secret about you is now being shouted for the world to hear. Do not scroll, do not move away. This is your moment of alignment. What the seer saw is unfolding even now, and your spirit knows it. If you believe this is your word, type "chosen" in the comments. Share this so that someone else can hear their confirmation. And subscribe right now, because in the next part, the seer reveals the final vision, the one that shook even him to his core, the one that proves your destiny is unstoppable. The seer's body shook as if an unseen wind had entered the room. Still clutching your photo, he fell to his knees, unable to remain standing under the weight of what he had seen. The room grew so silent that every heartbeat felt like thunder. And then, through trembling lips, he released the vision that had shaken even him to his core. He said, I see a table prepared, higher than mountains, brighter than fire, set with treasures no hand on earth could buy. And I see this one seated there. I see their name carved into the wood of eternity, never to be erased. The people gasped. Some began to cry aloud, because they understood. This was not ordinary blessing, this was not fleeting success. This was destiny sealed by heaven itself. The seer continued, they will walk into rooms they never imagined, but they will not walk alone. Angels will precede them. Doors will swing open at their arrival. Even the hearts of their enemies will bow, because the hand of God has written favor over their life. And then his voice broke, softer than before, almost like a father speaking to a child. This one will heal wounds they did not cause. They will carry peace into places filled with war. They will be the answer to prayers whispered by those who never met them. And when their journey is complete, generations will bless their name. Tears streamed down faces across the room. Some held each other, some bowed their heads, because the atmosphere was too holy to ignore. The seer raised the photo high and declared, "This face carries more than flesh and bone. This face carries destiny. No storm can wash it away. No thief can steal it. No delay can stop it. It is sealed. It is written. It is done. My friend, you must understand. You are that face. This is your confirmation. What the seer saw is now being spoken to you. This is why you feel this message pulling on your heart, why your spirit refuses to let you scroll away. It is because heaven is calling you by name. Your waiting is not wasted. Your tears are not forgotten. Your photo did not just show who you are, it revealed who you are becoming. And the world has not seen the fullness of it yet. If you believe this is your moment, type "IT is done" in the comments. Share this with someone who needs hope, and subscribe right now, because in the next part, I will reveal how the seer described the exact sign that will appear in your life as proof that everything he spoke is about to manifest. The seer's hand still clutched your photo as though letting it go would break the vision that heaven had poured into him. His eyes were red from weeping, but his voice carried a strength that pierced through the silence of the room. He said, "There is a sign, an undeniable sign, that will prove everything I have spoken is not imagination, but revelation." Everyone leaned in closer, hearts racing, because this was the moment they had been waiting for. The seer closed his eyes, lifted your photo toward the heavens, and spoke slowly, "A light will appear in their path, brighter than any candle, softer than the sun, yet undeniable. This light will not come from a lamp or a hand, it will come from heaven itself, and when it appears, they will know their time has come." The room grew heavy. Some held their breath. Others wiped silent tears. The seer continued, "This light will not just shine once, it will follow them. It will be seen in moments when they feel lost, it will surround them when they stand at the edge of doubt. And those around them will notice it too, though they will not understand. They will say, 'Why does everything begin to shift when this one arrives?' It is because the seal of heaven is no longer hidden, it is revealed." And then he spoke a detail so intimate that everyone gasped. "The sign will come on a day they least expect. It will come when their heart feels tired, when they think the promise has taken too long. And in that very moment, the light will appear, the doors will open, and their name will be spoken in places they never dreamed of." He lowered the photo slowly, holding it to his chest, and whispered, "Mark my words. This is not a hope. This is not a wish. This is a certainty. When the light comes, their destiny will rise with it." My beloved friend, this message is not coincidence. It is timing. You are hearing it now because your moment is closer than you realize. The sign is prepared. The light is waiting. And soon, you will see with your own eyes what heaven has been preparing all along. Stay with me. Do not scroll. This word belongs to you. If you are ready to receive this sign, type "Let the light come" in the comments. Share this with someone who needs hope, and subscribe right now, because in the next part, I will reveal what the seer said about the people connected to your destiny, and how they will appear in your life at just the right moment. The seer wiped his eyes, but his hands never released your photo. His voice was softer now, yet every word carried weight as though the heavens themselves were speaking through him. He said, "What I saw was not only about them alone. Destiny never works in isolation. There are people, divinely appointed people, who will appear in their life at the exact moment heaven has written. These are not strangers by accident. They are keys chosen long ago." The room leaned forward again, caught between curiosity and awe. The seer lifted your photo, gazed into it once more, and declared, "Some of them are already near but hidden, others are still on their way. But hear me clearly, when they come, the atmosphere around this one will shift. The very air will testify that something holy has entered." He paused, then said, "I saw 3 figures around this face. The first brings opportunity. The second brings healing. The third brings recognition. Together, they unlock the doors that destiny has kept reserved." People gasped, whispering to one another, but the seer lifted his hand for silence. "Do not mistake them for ordinary companions. These are not casual friends. These are carriers of divine timing. When they appear, this one must not ignore them, for their presence will mark the beginning of the greatest chapter yet." And then he leaned closer, his voice trembling. "But hear me, these people will not come dressed in crowns or fame. They may look ordinary. They may seem unexpected. Yet their presence will stir peace in the spirit, confirmation in the heart, and alignment in the path. That is how they will be recognized." The room filled with quiet tears once more. Everyone could sense that what he spoke was not just prediction, it was truth waiting to unfold. My friend, you are hearing this because it belongs to you. These people are already being prepared. Heaven has scheduled their arrival, and soon, you will see them appear, as if out of nowhere, carrying with them the pieces of the promise that belongs to you. Stay here. Do not scroll. What is being revealed is for your alignment. If you believe these divine connections are for you, type, "I receive my destiny helpers," in the comments. Share this so others can be reminded that heaven sends people at the right time. And subscribe now, because in the next part, the seer reveals the exact blessing that will flow once these people enter your life, a blessing so great it left everyone speechless. The seer's voice deepened as if it was carrying thunder from another realm. Holding your photo close, he said, "When those divinely appointed people step into this one's life, they will not come empty-handed. Their arrival will unlock the exact blessing that heaven has been protecting until this moment." The room fell into complete silence. Everyone knew this was the part of the revelation they had been waiting for. The seer's hands trembled, and his eyes filled with light as he described it. "I saw rivers turning into streams of gold. I saw doors that had been shut for years suddenly swinging open without struggle. I saw a flood of abundance, not trickling, but pouring, filling every dry place, restoring every loss, multiplying every seed that was planted." And then he leaned forward, his voice breaking. "This blessing is not only about wealth. It is about wholeness. Where there was lack, there will be fullness. Where there was sorrow, there will be laughter. Where there was delay, there will be acceleration. This one will rise so high that even those who once doubted them will stand in awe, unable to deny what has happened. People in the room could not contain themselves. Some wept openly. Others lifted their hands as though they too were receiving. The seer continued, "This blessing will not only touch their hands, it will touch their house, their family, their name. Generations yet unborn will benefit from what is about to be released. This is not a small blessing, it is a generational shift." Then, as though his heart could hardly bear the weight of what he saw, he whispered, "Heaven waited for the perfect time. And now, the perfect time has come. The blessing is no longer written in the future, it is arriving in the present. My beloved friend, listen carefully, this message has followed you for a reason. You are standing at the doorway of this blessing. The seer saw it, and now you are hearing it, because heaven does not want you to miss it. Stay until the very end, because the story is still unfolding. If you believe this blessing belongs to you, type "It is mine" in the comments. Share this so others may step into their promise, and subscribe right now, because in the next part, the seer reveals the final outcome of your journey, the moment when the world will witness your destiny fulfilled in full glory. The seer stood silently for a long time, holding your photo as though it were too holy to release. The atmosphere in the room had shifted, what began as curiosity had turned into reverence. And then, with a voice that seemed to echo from eternity itself, he said, "I have seen the final outcome, and it is greater than any beginning." He lifted his gaze toward heaven and declared, "This one story does not end in shadows, it ends in glory. It does not end in questions, it ends in answers. It does not end in tears, it ends in laughter that will echo for generations." The people leaned forward, unable to breathe, waiting for him to continue. He explained that in the vision, he saw you walking through a crowd. But the crowd was not just people, it was time itself, every season you endured, every moment you thought was wasted. And as you walked, the crowd bowed. Seasons that once opposed you began to honor you. Days that once carried sorrow began to release joy. Nights that once held loneliness began to shine with light. And you walked forward, crowned, radiant, unstoppable. The seer said, "I saw this one standing on a hill where nations could see them. And from their life flowed blessings like rivers. Families were healed, hearts were restored, chains were broken, not only for themselves but for all who came near." The listeners gasped. Some covered their faces in awe. Others whispered, "This is too much," but their tears betrayed that they believed. He continued, "I saw their name spoken in places their feet had never touched. I saw honor given to them not by the hand of man but by the decree of heaven. They will not chase recognition, it will chase them. They will not beg for a seat at the table, they will be invited to the head of it. And when that moment comes, even those who once mocked them will have no choice but to say, 'Surely, this one was chosen.'" The seer's body shook as he described the finale of the vision. "I saw them standing at a door of light. Behind that door was everything that was ever promised, peace beyond measure, joy unshakable, abundance overflowing, and love that never ends. And when they stepped through, the heavens erupted in celebration. Angels rejoiced. Ancestors smiled. and heaven itself declared, "It is finished. The destiny is fulfilled." The entire room broke into weeping. Some fell to their knees. Others reached toward the photo as though touching it would allow them to feel what had been spoken. The seer lowered your picture, his hands trembling, and said softly, "This one does not belong to ordinary history. They belong to eternal story. And their final outcome will leave the world speechless." My friend, you must hear this clearly. This message is not for another. It is for you. Heaven has paused time to bring you into this revelation. You have wondered if your story matters, if your battles had meaning, if your journey was worth it. And now heaven answers, yes. 1,000 times yes. For your ending is greater than your beginning. Do not walk away from this moment. The seer's vision has now reached your ears because the time has come for you to align with it. What was hidden is revealed. What was delayed is released. What was promised is here. If your heart is burning as you hear this, type, "My destiny is sealed," in the comments. Share this message so others may know that heaven has not forgotten them. And subscribe right now, because in the next part, the seer unveils the moment of transformation, the exact turning point where your life shifts into the fullness of everything spoken. The seer sat back down, his body trembling as if he had carried the weight of an entire world through his vision. He held your photo gently, like something sacred, and after a long silence, he whispered, "There is a moment, one single moment, that will become the great turning point of their life. This is the moment when everything that was spoken begins to unfold before their very eyes." The room leaned forward, hearts thundering in their chests. He continued, "I saw them standing at a crossroads, believing they were only making a small choice. Yet in that very instant, heaven was shifting everything. The moment seemed ordinary to them, but in the spirit, angels were moving, doors were opening, and destiny was being rewritten." He described it further. The air around them changed. Time itself paused to make way. I saw burdens falling from their shoulders as though chains that had been rusted for years suddenly shattered. I saw light pouring from their hands, as if everything they touched began to multiply. I saw voices that once spoke against them now speaking in their favor. That moment, yes, that moment, was the transformation. The seer raised his head, his eyes burning with tears, and declared, "It will not happen with trumpets or fanfare. It will come quietly, like a whisper from heaven. But when it arrives, nothing will ever be the same. They will rise in strength, and all who doubted will be silenced. They will shine in favor, and even their enemies will not be able to deny it. This is the moment heaven has been waiting for." People in the room began to sob uncontrollably. Some held each other. Some knelt on the ground. The weight of what had been spoken filled every corner of that place. And the seer pressed your photo to his chest, saying, "When that moment arrives, even they will not believe how quickly everything changes. The tears of yesterday will water the harvest of tomorrow. The struggles of the past will become the testimony of the future. The moment will not just change their life, it will change the lives of everyone connected to them." He paused, then added with trembling lips, "I saw them stepping into rooms they once thought were too high, signing papers they once thought were out of reach, speaking to people they once thought were untouchable. And all of it came not by chance, but because the heavens had written it long ago. My friend, hear this with your whole heart. That moment of transformation is approaching you. This message has found you now because the turning point is closer than you imagine. The shift is prepared. The change is written. And soon, your spirit will testify that it has arrived. Do not move away. Do not scroll. Stay anchored in this word, because you are walking into alignment with everything heaven has already planned. If you are ready for this transformation, type, "My moment is here," in the comments. Share this so others can be reminded that their change is coming too. And subscribe right now, because in the next part, the seer reveals what happens after the transformation, the season of overflow that even the earth will not be able to contain. The seer's hands were trembling, yet his eyes glowed with a fire that no one in the room could deny. He held your photo higher, almost as if lifting it toward the heavens themselves, and said with a voice that carried the weight of thunder and the tenderness of a whisper, "After the moment of transformation comes the season of overflow. This one will not walk in lack again. This one will not live in waiting again. This one will step into a flow so abundant that even the earth will marvel." The people gasped, some covered their mouths, some leaned forward as if to drink from his words. The seer explained, "I saw their hands filled, overflowing, spilling onto the ground, yet never emptying. No matter how much they poured out, it kept increasing. They gave love, and more love returned. They gave kindness, and kindness multiplied. They gave resources, and resources flooded back in greater measure. This is not normal, it is supernatural overflow." He wiped his tears, his body still shaking, and added, "I saw their table lengthen. It was not enough for one or two, it stretched wide, until crowds could sit and eat from it. And no matter how many came, the food never ran out, the oil never dried, the light never dimmed. What they carried was not just for themselves, it was for nations, it was for families, it was for generations." The room could hardly breathe. The atmosphere was too heavy, too holy. The seer leaned forward, his voice breaking, "Do you understand? Their story is not ending with survival, it is ending with surplus. They will not only stand healed, they will heal others. They will not only rise in abundance, they will fund the dreams of many. They will not only be crowned, they will crown others. This is what overflow looks like. It touches everything it meets." Then, with tears streaming down his face, he said the words that shook everyone present, "I saw rivers rushing to their feet, streams of blessing converging from every direction, north, south, east, west. And when those rivers met at their feet, they formed an ocean that could not be contained. And that ocean carried their name." The people wept aloud. Some cried out in worship, others fell silent in awe. The seer lowered the photo slowly and whispered, "This one will live to see the day where they will look back and say, 'Truly, every struggle was worth it, because it brought me here.' Their house will not echo with sorrow, it will echo with laughter. Their future will not echo with scarcity, it will echo with abundance. They will not merely live, they will overflow. My beloved soul, this is why you were guided here. This word belongs to you. The season of overflow is not a story about someone else, it is your reality waiting to manifest. You are standing at the edge of it now, and heaven has confirmed it through this message. Do not scroll away. Stay with me. Let these words sink into your spirit until they take root, because what you hear is what you will hold. If you believe the season of overflow is yours, type "I claim overflow" in the comments. Share this message so others may step into their blessing, and subscribe right now, because in the next part, the seer will reveal how your overflow will transform the lives of others, creating a legacy that cannot be erased.